what's the motivation behind bringing Homeworld 3 to bear? Why Homeworld 3?
Well, because it's not done.
Homeworld was born here in Vancouver. It was the game that essentially put Relic on the map. Really, I mean, at the time it was a critical success, but it was quite a large financial success too. PC games at that time, it was amazing if you sold over 1 million units, and they did.
The Homeworld game started in the mid-90s with Alex Garden. His idea was to create a game that was a merger of Command & Conquer and Battlestar Galactica. It would be the first ever truly 3D RTS.
Many people felt that it changed the strategy genre forever.
At the core of the story of Homeworld is this idea of this journey from working hard, being good, but being disenfranchised, being isolated, being alone. And then this struggle through this growing, massive, almost insurmountable adversity, and then this arrival at this place where you are righteously and profoundly accepted, included, and if you are someone like me, or I think like a lot of our fans, that's a perfect analog for your life. And it created permission for you to fight like hell because you have a birthright that you didn't even know you had to do that.
Here we are years later, and we keep looking at like, well, Homeworld 3, this has to happen. We all owe this to gamers.
We read the comments and the little notes that everyone leaves on our social media and forums, and that's all anyone ever asks for. Everyone's like, where the fuck is Homeworld 3? And so now we're ready.
We've been talking about what Homeworld 3 could be, how can we make this thing, how can we deliver to the fans what it is they want, and how can we deliver a Homeworld 16 years after the last one.
Homeworld 3 is going to be the last word in epic space combat. It will capture the mood and tone of Homeworld and deliver it in an exactly expected and juicy, lovely way. We're going to immerse people in the hot tub of the IP and really give them what they want. And last but certainly not least, there'll be an extension of the story that's totally satisfying with some interesting twists and turns and locations that I think will blow some minds and will resonate with fans and new fans alike.
When you make something, you don't always know why it resonates with people, right? In the case of Homeworld, it's definitely the case that people responded more strongly than we would have expected. So what that means is that they actually know something about the project that we don't.
One of the things that's different today about making games is that you can even look to the fans to help to fund the features and the ideas that they want. In some cases, that may be because you can't get the funding other ways. But it also might just be that you actually prefer to get the money from the people that will ultimately be the consumers or the customers. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones you're building the product for.
The project is already funded and backed by Gearbox, and we already have an exciting game that we're going to make. So we only care about how much bigger the audience might want to go.
They want the audience to be able to participate in a big way, and then on top of it, they can participate in the profits if they so choose to.
Thousands of voices have been quietly in the dark, noodling away for years, and finally they have a voice. The survey is just a really fun way to make that first handshake with the fan community. It's like a first impression.
The fact that it's our fans and aren't just random people off of the street, it's actually priceless.
I mean, they're the ones who kept the project alive in the hearts and minds of people everywhere.
The Vagar have arrived.
Yep, that sounded all really good.
This is a game that has such a big fan base, and like people that love this game, they truly love it.
That is very cool. Yeah. So presumably you'll be able to see all this when the ship comes apart. That's the whole
destruction sequence.
Totally the whole reason for that. So
There's nobody here that is like, oh shit, Homeworld again? Like, absolutely not. There's no shortage of desire to work on the IP and revisit it and carry it into the future.
You look at like everywhere and there's talent like everywhere for every single department.
We've got Rob Cunningham, of course, the original art director and a longtime friend of mine, and the founder of the studio.
If there was a single person that is making games today that has more of Homeworld's soul in him, I don't know of one.
He's building a wonderful team filled with like old school, like 20 years ago Homeworld vets, and of course a bunch of like new great people from the wider industry as well. Like he's building the dream team for this. Like who else would you trust?
Oh, this is where the party is. Also, you can play with the lighting. Like you could do a big silhouette thing, and then like it's all dark backlit, and then like there's a frontal. Oh, like, what? You get loads of like Fury style ricochets where it's like, you know, and they're like bouncing back in all sorts of directions. And then ultimately the bulkhead would fail. There's a lot of really powerful people. We've got Eric Torin, COO. We've got Rory, Chief Creative Officer. Lance is an amazing designer. And, you know, we've got Carl as art director. Paul Ruske on composition and music. Aaron Kambitz, of course. I mean, seriously, I could just go on about the caliber of people we're working with here.
We have waited a very long time to create this, and we are super excited to build this with you guys and to finally take the next step in the Homeworld universe. It's not a prequel, it's not a remaster, it is Homeworld 3. It is the next Homeworld.